Public's hammering the Sparks like it's free money, but big bets are quietly rolling in on the Sun. We got reverse line movement, steam on the over, and a spread that's looking way too comfy for LA. So what's really going on in this WNBA matchup? Let's break it down, Split Lab style. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Split Labs. This is where data meets discipline and where we don't follow the crowd, we read the board. Every WNBA slate, we're diving deep into betting splits, sharp money moves, and deciding which lines actually hold value. If you're new here, we don't throw darts, we bring the receipts. Hit that sub button, tap the bell, and let's win some bets together. And if you want to access any of the data you're seeing right here in this video, hit up splitlabs.net with code YouTube for 50% off your first month. Now let's jump into game one on the board tonight. Sparks versus Sun. We've got a 9-win team laying 6 points against the league's worst record. On paper, easy call, but that's where the trap usually starts. Let's pull up the betting splits and dig in. The model's giving LA a 67% win probability, which lines up with the minus 260 money line. But here's the thing, if they're expected to win, why is the spread still holding steady at 6? And the big money heading the other way? We've got 55% of bets on LA minus 6 and 53% of money on Connecticut plus 6. That's a red flag for LA backers. More total bets on the Sparks, but the bigger money is hitting the Sun plus 6. That's called reverse line movement, and it usually means the sharper action is fading the public. 83% of ML bets on LA and 84% of the money on LA as well. Yeah, everyone's on the Sparks. It's the safe pick. But here's the problem. Laying minus 260 juice on a sub 500 team in July isn't just dangerous, it's downright irresponsible. Especially when you see how much value is getting pushed onto the plus 6 instead. This is the classic Sparks win Sun cover game script. Now on the over-under, the total is set at 167.5. 64% of bets and 89% of the money on the over. Now this is where the sharpest move is happening. Nearly 90% of the cash is slamming the over 167.5. That means syndicates and larger bettors are seeing tempo, inefficiency on defense, and maybe inflated minutes for core starters, all of which feed into points. Books might shift this line soon, so if you like the over, lock it early. 167.5 is already approaching the edge of value. So here's our read on this matchup. Connecticut plus 6, we're not rushing to bet the money line, but with the reverse splits, you take the points and hold your nose. This is a fade the public spot. Over 167.5, cash is flying on the over, and the pace sets up for a higher scoring game. We're tailing the steam.
Real quick, if you're into breakdowns like this, you'll love what we've got going on at splitlabs.net. We track public betting splits across every sport. NBA, MLB, NFL, you name it. Plus matchup insights, team rankings, and even prop predictors to help you spot edges before the lines move. This isn't just picks. It's the same data the books are using to set prices, and we make it easy to read and actually use. You can try it free for 7 days, and if you like it, use code YouTube for 50% off your first month. No BS, no sportsbook affiliation, just clean, transparent data for smarter betting. All right, back to the breakdown.
Moving over to game 2 on the slate, Las Vegas Aces taking on the Indiana Fever. Both teams hovering around 500. Aces are 12-11, Fever are 12-12. Win probability leans Vegas, 57% to 43%, so a slight edge, but nothing dominant. And right away, this line looks sharp. It opened tight at Aces -2 and hasn't moved much, even with the action flooding in. For the spread, 59% of spread bets on Las Vegas and 66% of spread money on Las Vegas. That's a two-way read. Public is slightly leaning Vegas, but the big money is heavily aligned and it's on the favorite. That's a confidence play. No hesitation. Bettors are saying aces bounce back and cover. Now, usually when we see the majority of bets and money stacked on the same side with no line movement, that's not a trap. That's a lean confirmation. For the money line, 64% of ML bets and money on aces. This is as clean as it gets. Balanced, confident money on the road team. But here's the kicker. The Fever are evenly matched on paper, but Vegas is being treated like the stronger team, despite similar records. Books might be telling you, trust the pedigree, not the win-loss column. Now for the total, the over-under is set at 163.5 with 76% of total bets on the over and 81% of total money on it as well. This is Steam City. The over is getting hammered from both sides, casuals and sharps. 81% of the money is no joke. That's a clear pace expectation. We're talking fast possessions, transition buckets, and maybe even overtime risk. 163.5 isn't a soft number, but it hasn't climbed much. That tells us books are holding firm despite the wave. So here's our plays on this matchup. Pass, the spread, and ML. The no movement is too suspicious for us now. Too many red flags on such a short line. Fade the over. The public is all over it. Money is heavy. Line hasn't moved. That's smoke, and we don't walk into fires. All right, let's close it out with the nightcap. Seattle Storm hosting the Chicago Sky. Seattle's 14-10, Chicago sitting at 7-16, and the Storm are massive favorites here, laying 9.5 points at home with a minus 430 money line. But let's not pretend this is a free square. Seattle's coming off a rough one. They just got clipped by the Dallas Wings. Yeah, that 87-63 loss wasn't close at all. Dallas ran him out the gym and exposed Seattle's rotation issues. Let's talk about this spread. Seattle's laying 9.5 at home. And yeah, they're the better team. But here's what's interesting. 58% of the bets are on Seattle to cover, but only 51% of the money is on them. That's not a strong lean. It's a hesitant back from the bigger bettors. It means people are betting Seattle, but the larger wagers, they're a lot more split, and some of that cash is sneaking in on the Sky plus 9.5. Add in the fact that Seattle's coming off a loss to Dallas, and now we're laying nearly double digits. That's dangerous territory. Now let's look at the money line. Seattle's getting hit hard. 73% of bets on Storm ML, 81% of the money on Storm ML. Everyone's throwing Seattle into parlays tonight. It's the classic safe leg. Do we really have a concern about this? Not really. Despite all that money, the books have this line priced expecting a win. Total set at 157, and here's another split. 53% of bets are on the over, but 53% of the money is actually on the under. So what does that tell us? Well, casual bettors expect Seattle to bounce back and light it up, which makes sense. But the sharp money is going the other way. They're expecting a slower pace, maybe some shooting regression, maybe just a cleaner, lower scoring bounce back from the Storm. This has classic fade the public energy written all over it. So let's wrap this one up, shall we? Here's the picks. Lean, Seattle minus 9.5. Chicago's dropped 3 straight, all by double digits, including a 91-68 blowout just 2 nights ago. That's a red flag for anyone grabbing the points. If Seattle bounces back, they could cruise. Lean, under 157. Sharp money's on the under, despite more bets on the over. Chicago's been struggling to crack 70, and if Seattle controls the pace, this total could fall short. Pass, Seattle ML, 430. It's the public's parlay crutch of the night, but there's no value in laying that price when the spread looks cleaner. All right, that wraps up the WNBA board for tonight. And as always, we're not just betting the board, we're reading it. Public steam, reverse movement, sharp splits. That's the edge. And if you want this every single day, not just the picks, but the logic behind the lines, head over to splitlabs.net. Use code YouTube at checkout for 50% off your first month. You'll get full board access, model grades, player prop data, and live movement. Make sure to like, sub, and comment your favorite bet below, or call out the one you think is a trap. And don't forget to follow Split Labs on Instagram and Twitter for more data, line fades, and betting content every single day. We'll see you tomorrow with more data, sharper reads, and smarter bets.